police had scoured the area between her workplace and the bus stop. They'd run a campaign for months, calling for any information. Volunteers banded together to help the police search. Everything had come up blank. Meanwhile, footage of Tomas Kovak's cold, emotionless face saturated every news source. I'd heard about Kovak's confession while breastfeeding my daughter. Riley had been 11 months old at the time and was just starting to test her standing skills. I'd been so excited to finish the feed so I could encourage her to do it again. I wanted to film it for Peter. All of that went flying out of my head when I heard about what had happened to the poor woman, only a year younger than I was at the time. The case had remained lodged in my mind and heart over the years. "Are you sure you're okay to do it?" Sam asks. "It's only been a couple of years since everything went down with Justin, and this whole case is pretty damn confronting." Sam's not one to tiptoe around things. 2 years ago, a recently released inmate kidnapped my daughter and almost killed me. The scars, both physical and mental, have faded, though they'll never heal entirely. I've worked hard to rebuild my life since then. I've mended the rift with my ex-husband, repaired my relationship with my daughter, and bought an apartment near the beach. "Don't worry about me," I say. "I'm the strongest and happiest I've ever been." I'm feeling confident about this one. Since the attack, I've learnt to lean into my instincts as a psychologist, and, as a result, have been getting really positive results with my clients. Now I have one of the best track records in our team at Westmead Prison. I glanced down at Kovak's file, which is open to the police interview conducted after he turned himself in. His responses are short, confident, impassive. My determination flares. Chapter 2. A slight breeze limps off the ocean, barely tickling my face. The evening sun tinges the horizon orange. It still has a bite, even this late in the day, and families linger in the shallow water near the shore. I rub a hand over the back of my neck, where sweat has accumulated, damp and irritating. Every year, I think February heralds the end of the summer, but there's always a last-minute heatwave to remind me it's not over yet. We're heading into what meteorologists predict will be one of the worst in recorded history. 2 weeks of heat over 40 degrees Celsius. There's been no relief at night, with temperatures remaining in the high 20s. 3 days in, and I'm already frazzled and over it. I swerve between the crowds and into the ocean. The water of Bondi Beach laps around my ankles, barely cooling them. No time for a swim tonight. Peter's ringing at 7. I have 20 minutes. I close my eyes and ground myself in the moment. It's a tool I started to use to keep the panic attacks that used to plague me at bay, but now it's become a regular habit. I focus on the sand under my toes, the water at my feet. I smell the salt and a waft of perfume from a passerby. I hear the screeching gulls and the sounds of laughter from some children further down the beach. My mind drifts to Tomas Kovak. Although his crime is horrific, my task is fairly straightforward. He's not getting out of prison. Ever. He's what we call a lifer, a person with a life sentence. But he's different. His offence was so bad that he was sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. When my director, Michael Davidson, called me into his office yesterday to assign me this case, I noticed immediately that he was acting strangely. "I've got a tricky one for you, Laura," he began, flicking an imaginary piece of lint off his immaculate cuff. "All right," I said slowly, wondering what he had in store for me. "You know I like the tricky ones." "I do, but this one—" He attempted a frown, but his temporarily